Hi everyone, my name is Swaminathan. Welcome to Layerix University. I'm the founder, managing director, and chief technology officer of Layerix Networking Experts Private Limited. This Layerix University is an educational initiative from Layerix Networking Experts. Today we are going to discuss about the different Aruba Wi-Fi deployment models. Aruba Wi-Fi deployment model. When we talk about Wi-Fi, we need to talk about the three planes. One is called the management plane. Then we call as the control plane. Then it is called the data plane. Any Wi-Fi deployment, not just Aruba, is built on top of these three planes: management plane, control plane, and data plane. What is management plane? Management plane means nothing but the configuration of the access points. You configure SSIDs, you configure PSKs, the pre-shared key, which is nothing but the password that belongs to the management planes. You view dashboards, you view information about the clients, which client connected, when he connected, did he successfully connect. All those things belong to the management plane. Control plane is about a concept called RRM, radio resource monitoring primarily. Then there is a concept called roaming. Then there is a concept called client threshold. For example, if there are two APIs, if one API is serving a larger client base, then some of the clients needs to move to the neighboring API. This is also a part of the control plane. The RRM determines which radio band we need to connect, which channel ID we need to connect, channel 1 or 6 or 11 in the case of 2.4 gigahertz, and how much power each AP must transmit to avoid the sticky client issues. This is about RRM roaming. And these together are part of what is called as the control plane. The third is the data plane. Data plane is nothing but the client traffic, which is used by the phones or laptops, which is connected to the access point. From the access point, whether they are going to go to the internet or whether they are going to the intranet, the destination IP address determines that. That's the actual traffic. For example, you are using a phone connected to the Wi-Fi, and then you are trying to access Facebook.com. That Facebook.com traffic, whether the likes or the pictures of your friends, they become part of the data plane. Keeping this in mind, there are three Aruba Wi-Fi deployment models. One is called the instant AP. The second is a cloud-based deployment model. The third is controller-based, on-prem controller-based deployment model. What are the differences between these three deployment models is what we are going to see today. In the case of instant AP, we will have several access points like this: AP1, AP2, AP3, and AP4 and AP5 like this. One of these access point becomes what is called as a VC, Virtual Conductor. Previously, conductor was referred to as master in Aruba terminology. Now, conductor is the new term replacing the master. The role of virtual conductor is to serve the management plane, meaning All these APs are configured by this virtual conductor, and the control plane of all these access points are also controlled by the virtual conductor. They take care of the control plane and the management plane. The data plane is directly handled by the AP itself, which means if somebody is connected on a cell phone wirelessly to this access point and accessing facebook.com, that traffic directly goes to the internet. It does not, the VC does not come in the path of your data traffic. The second style of deployment is the cloud-based deployment. In the cloud-based deployment, all of these APs connect to the network of the campus, maybe using a switch. These are the APs 1, 2, 3, 4 as an example. And from the switch, they go to the internet. And from the internet, somewhere is Aruba Cloud, where the management instance is running, which controls these access point. So they take care of the management plane, which means you configure the access points from the cloud. The control plane, the RRM, roaming, etc., is also taken care by the cloud itself. Once again, the data plane, the data traffic does not go to the cloud, but it goes to the switch and then directly to the internet. The cloud does not come in the path of the data traffic. The virtual conductor does not come in the path of the data traffic. This is the second style of deployment. The third style of deployment is the on-prem controller-based. Once again, I'm going to draw a few APs here. Maybe 3, 4 APs I will take in this case. They all connect to PoE switches. Not necessarily, they can connect to regular switcher with the 12-volt DC powered adapter also, which is not very common. Connecting to PoE switch is very common. And then the controller. This is the controller. How it works, and then there is the internet. Here, how this works. The access point tunnels all the traffic using GRE, generic routing encapsulation, which is nothing but an IP in IP. First, the client IP traffic, let us say this is the client, it gets an IP traffic, IP address. That is hitting the access point. Let us say the source IP of some 10.1.1.1. Going to, let us say, assume it is a ping traffic to 8888. This forms the inner IP header. The outer IP header is the IP address of the access point itself, and the destination is the controller. Right? The traffic is tunneled on this GRE, hits the controller, and then the outer IP address header is destroyed. The inner IP header is then either you can pass that as a trunk traffic to maybe a firewall sitting not on the cloud, but sitting here, firewall, or it can go to any core switch also. And then from there, it can be sent to the internet. This you can use this controller as either an L3 gateway, wherein you will have the gateway for that particular VLAN on the controller, and then you can take out the traffic as a routed traffic, or you can also have this link as a trunk link, which can get the traffic and then in an L2 fashion forward it to another gateway, probably to the core switch, and from there it can be routed into the internet. So these are the three deployment models: the instant AP, the cloud-based, and on-prem controller-based. One special mention here, there are two flavors of AOS in Aruba, AOS 8 and AOS 10. AOS 8, any of these models is supported. AOS 10 only supports the cloud-based model. The instant AP is not supported in the AOS 10. Thank you from Layerix University, an education initiative from Layerix Networking Experts Private Limited. This is Swaminathan. See you in the next section. Bye-bye.